Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. KenCast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to KenCast. It's great to see you again. It's another Sunday. Today, I think we're going to just kind of chill and talk amongst ourselves, talk about the news, everything that's going on, and talk about your comments and questions. I'm interested to hear from you today. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an insane week. If you have been watching the Obliterated series, which we need to get back to, and I want to talk about that because we're going to keep doing those live watch parties. But Drew, Rohali, and I have held off from watching Obliterated. This has been very hard to do because we want to keep watching it because we want to give you our authentic reactions to each episode. So we're going to be coming up with good times, dates, and times to keep doing those watch parties. So if at any point during the stream today, if you've seen past episode 2 of Obliterated, and please no spoilers. I don't want to know anything yet. Thank you. I know this is tough. It's tough for me too. It is a really fun series. And then also it's been a crazy week because we had our Tornado Chasers live stream. Some members, including Chris Klotz, know me from my tornado chasing days, and that was my series Tornado Chasers. We had a 10-year anniversary show where we had a lot of the cast and crew back to talk about Tornado Chasers. And so I'm looking forward to kind of like rehashing that, reminiscing. And then also we've got, I don't know, discussions about the new Karate Kid movie, Cobra Kai, all of that. So it's great to see you today. I'm going to say hello to everyone joining us. AEH, great to see you. Thanks for being a channel member. Really appreciate it. Jasmine, Ken, great that you're back. How are you doing? I'm doing great. It's always fun on Sunday. I think it's a great day. Usually relaxed unless something huge is going on. I was in a rush just to see the stream. I made it. So great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see you too. Elisa Barrett, great to see you, Lisa. Hello, Ken, and everyone in the chat, Nerd World. Hey, Ken in chat, great to see you. Jason, wonderful to see you. Love that avatar. Ben Matello, 'tis the season to be merry. It is. And maybe 'tis the season to be Terry, as in Terry Silver. That's right. It's, it feels, I was going to say, it feels like it's been such a long time since we saw Terry Silver last. But really, how thankful are we all that Terry Silver is back? Up to that point, 30 years since we see Terry. So really, Terry Silver, we should get talking about him too. We've got Terry Silver Rocks. Evening, everyone. Great to see you. Thank you for being a channel member, and not only a channel member, but a champion channel member. You are the executive producer. Thank you so much, Terry Silver Rocks, for being a champion, both on this channel and in real life. So great to have you with us today. Daniel, great to see you, Daniel. Man, Jaws, wonderful to see you. Jaws says Terry Christmas. I agree. Terry Christmas. Alina, great to see you, Alina. I love your avatar. You are posing with Reed, spotting a tornado. That's wonderful. Thank you for watching and joining us on the live stream this past week. It's great to have you. Ben says, yes, 'tis the season to be Terry always. I agree. So I'm going to start off just recapping this past week. The big news, at least for this channel, was we had this live stream. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We had over 40,000 people join us right then live watching this reunion, which is just a thrill. I'm so glad there are so many people who not only watch the show, enjoy the show, but are still fans of the show and are clamoring for a new season of the show. So man, you guys, it's hard to say no when you've got over 40,000 now. I think tens of thousands more people watching that stream. It's hard to turn turn you guys down. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. It's interesting times. We've got a sequel to Twister coming out. So I don't know much about that production. Maybe it'll be amazing. Maybe it will reignite interest in natural disaster movies, tornado movies, that type of thing. And that would be a very interesting environment to bring out the truth of storm chasing, which is what we do on Tornado Chasers, I think, pretty well. So all these guys are absolutely fantastic. Amazing that they all joined us. Ray, Connor, Mike Scantlin, Bill Beach, Seth Deckard, Terry, and Reed Timmer. Some of you who are Cobra Kai fans may not recognize who these people are, but if you are at all interested in chasing tornadoes and the famous people who chase tornadoes, these are them. So it was very wonderful to have them along with us. Another news point to talk about is Hayden Schlossberg tweeted, Obliterated is doing very well. According to Flix Patrol, it is the #1 show on Netflix this past week. It's doing incredibly well. And if you've seen it, I'm interested to know what you think of Obliterated. Again, no spoilers. We're still walking our way through it. I've only seen the first 2 episodes, and it's taken me a lot of willpower to not continue. We're going to have those live reaction live streams, hopefully resuming this week once we can get everyone together. Really funny show. Obviously, very different in a lot of ways than Cobra Kai, and definitely not family friendly. And as John Hurwitz has said, definitely not parent friendly either. You don't want to watch it with your parents, and you don't want to watch it with your kids. But it's the type of comedy, it's the type of show that I think we really haven't had in a long time. And it in a way, even though it has a lot of vulgar humor, it's kind of a palate cleanser, I think. And I really hope that we start getting more comedies that just want to have fun and be funny and maybe aren't too concerned about, if someone might get offended. Because obviously this show, I mean, it's definitely not for every taste, but it is proud of what it is, and it does it very confidently. So definitely keep it tuned to this channel. Go ahead and subscribe. If you're watching this right now, live or on the replay, go ahead and hit subscribe and like. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers. So I thank you all for subscribing and watching. And if you are not a subscriber and you enjoy this, go ahead and hit that button. It'll make you feel good, and it's totally free. So keep it tuned here. We are going to do some more on Obliterated this week. Alina says, I love watching Tornado Chasers on repeat. Thank you. It is so incredible. Matthew, thanks for watching on Facebook. Hi, Ken. Thank you for Tornado Chasers. You are very welcome. It was, and I'll just say this right now. If you're watching this and you're a fan of Tornado Chasers, that was definitely a labor of love. I got to combine all of my interests into doing that. I had done a number of storm chasing documentaries, and that was the first time I had done a long form series, a long form documentary series. And I think we really did the best tornado documentary that's ever been produced, even since. And it was really a labor of love. It was very stressful. It was a lot of work, but it has just exploded and become an international hit. And I am just thankful to everyone who's watched that show and joined us for the storm chasing adventure. So thank you so much. Marianella, it's great to see you today. I've been doing pretty well. I've been trying to stay busy. In fact, one thing I got to do this past week was meet up with William Christopher Ford. And so I got to meet up with him this past week, and he's doing great. And maybe sometime we'll have him back on the show. But he gave me some of these. And if people follow William Christopher Ford and Let's Be Water, Mark Kerr, who's just an amazing artist, and he's done so much Cobra Kai art and Obliterated art. He did this of Dennis, and I just think it's an amazing photo, amazing artwork, and it was so cool to see William Christopher Ford definitely check out his 52 Masters YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. He uploads lots of inspirational martial arts things. He is truly a martial arts expert, wonderful teacher. He has his own dojo. And I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the Mark Kerr helped kind of design or redesign his dojo's logo. So that, I don't know that. So that was cool. So that's what's been going on this past week. Drew tube, how you doing? Drew tube, good to see you, Drew. Yeah, Drew's busy. He's working on a lot of things. Definitely follow him on Drew tube or on Cobra Kai Kid. He's got lots of great stuff coming out, and he's new movie he was working on. I had a chance to kind of do some stuff on, got a sneak peek of what he's doing, so that's very cool. um Let's see. Alina, it's an amazing documentary. You did amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. It was, if you've seen the show Tornado Chasers, you know that there are some exhilarating moments, some of the most exhilarating moments that anyone could have while tornado chasing, but at the same time, some very personal loss and tragedy during that. So I think it's a very important show for all of us. So thank you so much. Nerd World says, Let's Be Water should do the posters for Cobra Kai season 6. You know, he is so good. And he also did the poster. I don't know if you guys can see right behind me, Cobra Cole. If you haven't seen it, check out Cobra Cole. For sure. That was a lot of fun for all you Karate Kid and Cobra Kai fans. But he did this poster for Cobra Cole, and he did it so quickly. And he just does these things. He whips them out. He has such an amazing vision. And so everyone who's a fan of, Cobra Kai, Obliterated, Rocky, all these things, follow him. Let's Be Water. That's his handle on Instagram and X, Twitter. It's just whenever he comes up with something new, it always puts a smile on my face. It's really amazing the power of his artwork. So definitely do that. J-Cat, how you doing, J-Cat? I stay puffed. Everyone, Ken, have you finished Obliterated? I have not. So no spoilers. Drew Rohally and I are keeping together on only watching this live to get the live reaction. So we're going to keep doing that and hopefully have more lives this week to try and watch through the entire series. So definitely subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can join us live when we watch it and you can see our reactions. Very cool. DrewTube says, excited for everyone to see it. I'll be posting it on DrewTube at some point when all said and done. This is the new film that Drew is working on. So we should be looking forward to that. Go ahead and follow DrewTube too. I think if you enjoy the stuff on my channel, you'll like the stuff on his channel too. Emmett says, what will you do for the New Year's? I'm not sure yet. Maybe we should do something. Maybe I could fit in a live stream somehow, somewhere around New Year's Eve or the day before. We'll see. I'm not sure what my schedule is for New Year's, but I mean, maybe we should hang out. Maybe we should have our KenCast countdown to New Year's. Let me know if you're interested in that. Let me know in the comments, or if you're watching on replay, comment below the video and let me know if you're interested in some kind of New Year's celebration. Emmett says, I hope Terry Silver gets redeemed and tells the truth about his old friend Kreese and what his true motive is. Yeah, the thing is, I agree with you, Emmett. Like, totally. I will say this though, I'm not sure he needs to be redeemed. As a Terry Silver fan, we see things from Terry's point of view. He's been wronged in many ways. And especially at the end of season 5. Look at what everyone did. They broke into his house. They attacked him. They physically threatened him. They broke into his dojo. All these people were trying to stop him. Daniel LaRusso trying to stop Terry Silver, even when Terry gave him lots of calm warnings that he was overstepping. It's none of his business. Daniel LaRusso, like a would-be dictator, decided that he knew what was best for all of the Valley, that this wasn't a free country, that Terry Silver should not be allowed to operate his own dojos. When Terry was not threatening Miyagi-Do and not doing anything, Daniel did all of this to try and stop him. And so I think we have to realize that Terry was trying to be magnanimous. He was trying to help the children and fund education, and people were aggressive and came for him. And he did everything he could to to resolve things nonviolently, you know? So I don't know. So I agree with you, Emmett. I think hopefully season 6 will provide some perspective, some needed perspective on the character of Terry Silver. Marianelle says news about Cobra Cold too. You know, yeah, I think everyone involved would love to keep doing that, and there is for sure, I think an amazing story that I have planned for characters and everything like that. But here's the thing, like I think we'd have to figure out a way. Either we do it in a way that's not uh, doesn't trespass on the Sony legally on those characters, or somehow, I don't if it's possible, it would be amazing to actually fully officially be able to use those characters, but that could be complicated. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Maybe there's a fun way to do it. There's an amazing story though. I hope I can do it someday because it would be very cool. DrewTube says, when you asked Let's Be Water to do the poster for Cobra Cole, what was the discussion? Did you have a vision for the poster, or did he come up with the design for it? We actually he is in the UK, and we got on a Zoom call and just talked about different ideas, and I showed him the movie, and so he got to see it, so he understood what it was. And I think, like all of us who are fans of Cobra Kai, and especially Terry Silver, for whatever reason, we're all on the same wavelength. We have the same brain. And so it was really very easy from just even from a knowledge and fan perspective of, say, Karate Kid 3 and Cobra Kai, um, to see what the vision was for this and where we wanted to go with it. And I am just so thankful that he jumped at the chance to do it, and I am honored to this day to have had a collaboration with him on a project. So we basically talked and came up with he had an idea and he just did it, and I was like, dang, that's really good. That is really good. So that's how the poster came about. So he's very talented artist. Emmett, how old are you? Oh my goodness. I don't know. How old do you think I am? I don't know why it's personal information. But yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Yeah, I would say guess, and you're probably in the ballpark. Jaws says Anush Louis and Sensei Ford in Cobra Cole too. It's endless what you could do with more time in this world. So much you could do, so much fun. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Jaws, for your support and for your memes. Really, really appreciate all of that. Nerd World says, I want for Daniel in season 6 that he's not believing Kreese died because he did it in the 80s. He will not fall for this again. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I I think it seems like Daniel probably is beyond paranoid with any of these people. So I agree with you. I don't think that he'll believe that John Kreese is dead for a moment. Like this has happened before. So, but the problem for Daniel, we talked about this on past live streams after season 5 and his entire dojo, is that they all broke in to either Terry's house or his Cobra Kai dojo and physically threatened everyone, and including Terry Silver. So I think this is going to be a problem, if not for law enforcement, which I think there could be legal implications for Johnny, Chosen, Mike Barnes, and possibly Daniel. It's definitely, I think, going to affect their dojo standing, I would think, for the Sakai Taikai. They've been admitted, but obviously this is not adequate behavior for the senseis of a dojo for such a prestigious tournament. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen, and I have just a sneaking suspicion that there are going to be some consequences for the quote unquote good guys in season 6. Nerd World says keeping up with the Coles. Yes. Jaws says Ken Cole as judge character in LaRusso versus Silver in Cobra Kai season 6. Hey, yeah, absolutely. Hey, I would do that all day long. I love to judge LaRusso and Terry Silver. Of course, I might be slightly biased towards Terry Silver, but there's nothing wrong with that. AEH says that's right. Save Silver. That's right, guys. Save Silver. We have to save Terry Silver. He is being unjustly detained for over a year now. It's not fair. Emmett says interested in New Year's. That's great. Jasmine says yes. That would be okay. Maybe we can do something. John, hey Ken, how have you been? Cobra Kai never dies. Right, Cobra Kai never dies, and that's why I have a sneaking suspicion that Cobra Kai season 6 won't be the last we'll see of these characters. There will be some kind of new incarnation of Cobra Kai, but hopefully the story of the Cobra Kai series will come to the conclusion that John, Josh, and Hayden want it to. So, but I think we might see more incarnations of the series. I would hope in the future. DrewTube, that's an awesome story, Ken. Thank you. Yeah. Well, he's I can't everyone should follow Let's Be Water. He's just incredible. I mean, those of us, and I know Drew knows this too. I mean, he's just absolutely Let's Be Water is such a great artist and does put a smile on everyone's face. So everyone follow him. He's also just about the nicest person I've ever talked to in my life. He's just great. John Spangler, how does Kreese get out of jail? I don't get it. This is another thing. He was able to break out of jail, but I think in doing so, he probably committed new crimes. So I think it's going to be tough for him to show his face in the United States. He assaulted doctor guards. He stole property from his psychologist. He's probably going to be in legal trouble in the United States. So that's just my guess. Unless they are just say that's okay. He was justified in attacking and assaulting people because he was unfairly incarcerated. I don't think that's how it works. So he might have to skedaddle and get out of the country, I think. We'll see. John says, I love the Cobra Cole poster. Yeah. Mark did an amazing job with that. Jaws says, save silver products is the best gifts products for Christmas. Yeah, indeed, it is. And it's supporting a good cause. Of course, making everyone aware that Terry Silver is not a bad guy and deserves to be set free from prison. Javier, great to see you, Javier. Save Kreese. He might need to be saved in the future as well. So, K-Tom, hello, Ken. Hello, how are you? Great to see you. And I'd like to say that right after the stream, we're going to end the stream in a little over a half hour, and we're going to go into our member stream for finalist members and above. So if you are watching this and you're a member, you can jump on that stream and join us for some additional conversation. So just want to let everyone know. The spooky fan girl. Hi, how's it going? Great to see you. Is Tig growing his hair again? I think it's been long, and he's kept it kind of long. He, if you noticed, I was very fortunate to do an interview with him and Mary Page Keller and other people from the show, including John, Josh, and Hayden and Alicia Hannah Kim. That was when they were supposed to start shooting, but it got delayed due to the strike, and you could see that his hair was a bit longer. So I don't know, just putting two and two together, I think that his hair will be long and ready for filming. I think, of course, Terry will be back in season 6. So Jaws says Terry, Kreese, Dugan, and Tom Cole in the same scene. Imagine. Yes, I agree. Tom Cole, of course. Terry, Kreese, and Dugan in the same scene. I think you would have those three iconic to me, and I think to everyone, iconic actors who've portrayed villains all in the same all in the same scene, I think the series would just explode. It would be an incredible moment. So I really hope that that happens. John says, I finally got my Cobra Kai gi. It's so awesome. You need to get one. Very cool. That's fantastic. If you have photos of that, definitely share that in social media. Tag me. I would love to see that. Yeah, those gis are pretty great. I know Shamoon, he wears his Eagle Fang gi. You know, it's a great look. And so maybe so. Well, we'll see if I can find some good gis and we'll do it. Maybe there'll be a new style gi for season 6. Who knows? We have Mike Cobra Kai Wisdom, who's been on these live streams, and he has said that there is probably going to be something with Elise, I'm sorry, Kim Daeun, and that she has her own style and potentially new dojo. So I'm wondering if that's the case, maybe she'll design her own gi. I wonder what they would look like. So now, guys, before we keep going, let me see. Nerd World says Terry Creese and Tom Cole drinking bobas in front of LaRusso car. Yeah, absolutely. That would be, I would love to see that. I love that idea, Nerd World. Ardley says, do you think that Sean, Kenny's big brother, will be back for season 6? I think he could definitely fit into the story. I think it would be great to see him. Here's the thing, though. I think they've set up that series so that there's so many characters, so many great characters that you can go in so many different directions. We may see certain characters, we may not see certain characters. Um, there have been hints, like the big three have hinted that they want to go international, in season 6. It's going to be bigger. So there might be new characters to introduce from an international standpoint. Um, we'll have to see how things tie in. I don't know. I think it's 50-50 that Sean could appear. Um, he's a great character. He's very threatening. And yeah, I think I all any of these characters appearing would be absolutely fantastic. Emmett says, I told my sister on New Year's, Happy New Year, sis, and she said, Happy New Year's, bro, with the 2 heart-shaped hand emoji. What does that mean? I think that means just sibling bonding. That's good. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing to have those kinds of relations with your sister. John Spangler says, will Hillary Swank be in Cobra Kai? We don't know that for sure. It hasn't been confirmed, but I have a feeling that people would like it to happen. Both, I think, the creatives behind the show, and I think Hillary Swank too. I think it just comes down to, can an agreement be reached? Availability, which now we would think that Hillary Swank may have more availability because she had twins this past spring. So there's been more time since then. So maybe she has more availability to appear. But I think people want it to happen. The question is, will it happen? We don't know. So we'll have to wait for an announcement. I have a feeling if she's not playing a huge part in season 6, if she just pops up maybe later in the season, I think they might try to keep it a secret. If she's a big part of the whole season, I think we might get hints before the release of the season that she'll be in it. And who knows? Maybe they'll tease it anyway, because I think it would make it a must watch, definitely, for people who are even just casual fans of Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid series. So, guys, I saw this today for all the fans here who are Cobra Kai fans and Karate Kid fans. We had lots of discussion about this new Karate Kid movie with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio. I saw this on Screen Rant, and this, and forgive the ads here for the article, but this is 7 theories about Karate Kid's crossover and how will Ralph Macchio's Daniel meet Jackie Chan, Mr. Han. So let's look at these, and I want to go through these with you and see what you think. Okay, so these are 7 theories, and we can kind of talk about these. Okay, so theory number 7. Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Han will meet at the Sakai Taikai. The Cobra Kai season 6 tournament can set up the next Karate Kid movie. It's an interesting idea. Here's what I don't know though. Supposedly, this movie is going to be released on December 13th, 2024. I think this theory only works if Cobra Kai season 6 comes out before the movie. If Cobra Kai season 6 is going to come out in December, like late December, the New Year's timeframe, which, guys, we talked about doing it at New Year's KenCast. If Cobra Kai season 6 comes out around New Year's, we are definitely going to be doing a marathon like we've done before. I think we went 7 hours up to the release of season 5. I think we're going to be doing something at least similar going up to season 6. So, but the thing is, if it comes out around the New Year's timeframe, then the movie will have already come out. So I don't think I don't know what the likelihood of this is. And something we don't know as well is, will the big three, John, Josh, and Hayden, feel obligated to include Mr. Han or the events of this new movie in Cobra Kai season 6? They have said in the past that they are completely separate worlds. That's changing now, but will they feel obligated to change the series? In season 1, Daniel LaRusso and Robbie, when they were training in the woods, Daniel LaRusso actually mentioned Jackie Chan, or it might have been Robbie mentioning it, but they talked about Jackie Chan as an actor that exists in the Cobra Kai world. So I don't know. It would be very strange. I would be very let me put it this way. I think if Mr. Han were to appear in Cobra Kai season 6, it wouldn't be because of John, Josh, and Hayden's creative decision. I think it would have been a mandate from the studio. So I think if they have control over this, Mr. Han will not appear in the Cobra Kai series. That is just my opinion. Okay, here's the next one. Mr. Han knew Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi and Mr. Han's similar teaching styles indicate they knew each other. They could have. They could have. It's possible. I I think that this kind of disregards the connection that Shimpo Sensei, in the Miyagi ancestor who woke up off the coast of China and came back to Okinawa with the secret of Miyagi family karate. Um, and so I think the idea that Mr. Miyagi knew Mr. Han, it's possible. We don't know if Mr. Miyagi ever went to China. It doesn't seem like he has, but it's possible. I would say that this is also not as likely just because they have similar teaching styles. I would think that it's because perhaps they're both descended from Shimpo Sensei. They're perhaps distant relatives. But, it's an idea. It's an idea worth talking about. Please let me know your thoughts, because I certainly don't know. I don't have all the correct answers. Here's another theory. Mr. Han has an acquaintance of Chosen, so they know each other. Mr. Han and Chosen both carry guilt and shame regarding their past. That's it's interesting. Let's read it. But what's it? There's never been a hint that the Karate Kid Part 2 and Cobra Kai's Chosen have ever visited Beijing, China, or that Han went to Okinawa, but it's possible that these two characters found themselves in each other's presence in years past. It's totally possible. Were this to have happened somehow, they might have realized that they have a good deal in common. This is an interesting idea. I don't think it's going to happen in the movie because Chosen, I don't believe, is in the movie at all. So I think that the connection between Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Han probably doesn't have anything to do with Chosen. But I like the idea, and it would be cool if they bring these universes together that everyone sort of knows each other, I think. Here's another theory. Daniel will travel to Beijing to connect with Miyagi-Do's history. Yeah, this could be this. I think this would be a very interesting idea. Like, if you wanted to bring Mr. Han into the Cobra Kai series, I think this is something you could really do in a series, and you could have Daniel really explore the roots of his fighting style. Um, and the long form nature of a series would lend itself to doing a story like this, a storyline, maybe over multiple episodes. Maybe similar to what we saw with Daniel going to Okinawa and meeting back up with Chosen and Kumiko. But I don't know. I doubt they're going to spend the time in this new movie having Daniel go to China. Everything we know at the new movie, it has to do with this character called Li Fong. I believe that's his name. That he's kind of the new Karate Kid, and he's the focal point of the movie. So I don't think this is going to be like a Daniel LaRusso Karate Kid movie. I don't think he's the main character, and I don't think Han's probably the main character either. So I think, again, if they were thinking about this, and if Sony really wanted to do something like this, and John, Josh, and Hayden knew that from the beginning, I think they could have done something like this in the show, or if the show kept going, or maybe if there's a spinoff, this would be a very interesting direction to take it for a spinoff show. But I doubt this will happen in the movie. Okay. 3, Daniel will seek out a kung fu master for help. Daniel may think that kung fu will bring his karate school to the next level. That's, I don't know. That's so interesting. Maybe, uh, again, I would see this as more of a storyline for a series, because from what we know of the new movie where they'll actually meet, it's going to take place in Brooklyn, New York. So if Daniel LaRusso is showing up in Brooklyn, he's going to be probably away from his family, away from his friends, and away from his dojo. So I don't think Daniel's going to be setting up a new dojo in Brooklyn. Could be wrong. I mean, that would be wild. I don't know how that would intersect with what we know of the Cobra Kai series, but I I don't know. But I mean, it's an interesting idea, but again, it's sort of like I would think that he would reach out to Julie Pierce first rather than go all the way to because Chosen's already master. Like, I don't know if he would need to reach out to a kung fu master with his own dojo. Just my thought. And again, to be fair, I'm not reading through all these descriptions, so maybe let's see what he says. He may find in Cobra Kai season 6 he needs to branch out and learn, or have his students learn other martial arts styles. Again, that's possible. I don't think, from everything we know with the direction of the story that John, Josh, and Hayden have gone down, I don't think we're going to see Mr. Han in Cobra Kai season 6 at all. I think the only reason we would be that Sony mandated that Mr. Han appear, because they've been very clear in the past that Mr. Han doesn't exist in the Cobra Kai universe, and that Jackie Chan as an actor does exist. So I don't think we'll see him in the Cobra Kai season 6. So I think anytime we see these two together, it will be in the movie and only the movie. That's my guess. Again, Sony holds the power, so if they mandate something, maybe it'll happen. Let's see. Jaden Smith's Dre will get involved with Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do. Dre could return to the States and find his way to Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. Uh, it it's the problem is it's that movie, the remake, 2010, had it was its own thing, its own universe, and there was no hint in that movie of a Mr. Miyagi or Miyagi-Do. And so the idea that somehow he would find his way to Miyagi-Do and Daniel Russo, it's so bizarre. I don't know. This one to me seems kind of far-fetched. And again, it would have to happen in the context of the series. I don't think Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do will appear, but as far as Daniel's students, that type of thing, I don't think that will appear in the new movie. Because again, Daniel's in Brooklyn. He is not anywhere near the valley. Yeah. Again, a lot of people are confused by this movie anyway. So I don't think that's likely. And then number one, Daniel and Miyagi-Do will take part in a Beijing tournament. A dojo trip to a Beijing tournament could see Daniel and Mr. Han run into one another. Yeah, I mean, these are all very interesting ideas, and you could have this happen, I think, in a series or maybe a Daniel LaRusso focused movie, but I don't think any of that's happening. I don't think this is a Daniel LaRusso focused movie. I don't think the characters, could be wrong, because the student comes from China, at least in the story outline that we know of. Li Fong, who is the main character, I think has moved to Brooklyn. He's in Brooklyn. And the story will take place in Brooklyn. So I don't think we're going to see China unless we see Jackie Chan, Mr. Han, maybe at the beginning of the movie, maybe at the end. But I think China, if it's in there, will only show up very briefly. And again, I could be wrong, but it seems like if the point of the story is that this character has moved from China with his mother to make a new life in New York, I don't think that we're going to see the bulk of the story take place in China. It could be that Li Fong knows Mr. Han from Beijing, maybe at the beginning of the story, and when he gets to Brooklyn, maybe if he needs help or something, maybe he calls Mr. Han and Mr. Han comes to visit him in Brooklyn. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think, a tournament in Beijing, I think that would be perfect for a Daniel focused movie or an entire season of a series. I just don't think any of that's happening now. So, this is really fascinating, and I love the imagination and thought that was put into these different theories. And I have to really, my hat's off to Angel Shaw for putting this together. I don't think any of them, um, I don't think any of them will happen. I think this one, Mr. Han knew Mr. Miyagi. This is possible, but I think it's more that Mr. Han was a distant relative of Mr. Miyagi, and um, they have the same fighting style or similar, or two branches of the same fighting style passed down to them. So that's very possible that they knew each other. But I think Daniel and Mr. Han, if they have a connection, that will probably be it. And which would be great, hey, Mr. Han, and that would tie him into Chosen as well. But as far as like these specific theories, I don't think they're going to happen. But that's just what I think. Let's see what you guys think. Um, let's see. JCat, no, I don't want Dre. Dre's just a Gen Z Daniel. Oh dear. Well, we'll see. I think Jaden Smith, if I heard right, I think he's retired from acting. I don't think he acts anymore. So I don't think we'll see Dre. Anything's possible because Will Smith and Jaden Smith both, I think, have been producers of the Cobra Kai series. So anything's possible. We could see, but I have a hunch that we won't. Jasmine, do you think we'll see the birth of Johnny Baby and how they raise it? Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know because um I guess it depends where we get season 6, like where it begins. Does it begin right at the end of season 5? Will there be a time jump? Obviously, I think if it starts right after the end of season 5 and the events just move forward from there, maybe we would see the baby at the very end, maybe in the series finale. But if there's a time jump, we might. Like if maybe it will jump 5 months, 6 months. Maybe they might have to do that to explain the aging of some of the actors. But honestly, that's not even a concern. It hasn't been a concern over the past 5 seasons, and I don't think anyone really cares about the aging of the actors playing the characters. So I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe I have a feeling they'll keep going right from the end of season 5. So I would say towards the finale of the series, we will see the baby. And maybe that will be a great note for the series to go off on, is a new Johnny Lawrence family member. So Johnny Lawrence and Carmen. That's just a guess. John Spangler says, can't wait. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Matt Moore says Jada Pinkett Smith is the real villain of Cobra Kai. Well, no comment on that one. But obviously, it's interesting that there's been so much drama out in the public sphere regarding the actors and the creatives, kind of that tangentially touch on the series. Nerd World says, "Oh, Mr. Han is the sensei of the current Sekai Taikai champion, and they watch footage of that, and Daniel recognizes him and visits him in New York." I think that's a fun idea too. I think that's really a fun idea. What I don't know, guys, and I'll be honest, is when are they planning to release season 6 of Cobra Kai? And and we know that they're going to release this movie on December 13th. And it seems like they probably are planning on releasing these things right next to each other. And I don't see them releasing the series. They could release it around Thanksgiving in the US, maybe. So the series might come out before the movie. But I mean, the only way I think Cobra Kai season 6 would provide any setup for this movie would be if Sony mandated it to John, Josh, and Hayden, because I think John, Josh, and Hayden, as we've talked about before, really view Mr. Han in a separate universe. And the idea to change that, especially when they've already talked about Jackie Chan through the characters of the show, the actor, not Mr. Han, I think that would violate things. And so I think they just want to probably finish the story they wanted to start. And so if we see Mr. Han or any hints of this, I think it will have been mandated from Sony that they do it. I'm sure they do a good job, but yeah, it's so interesting. This whole situation is so interesting. It kind of doesn't make sense, but I love this idea, Nerd World. I think this is very creative. I like it. Jaws says, "Is there any chance that the new Karate Kid will appear in the last episodes and win the Sekai Taikai? And maybe Han and even Julie Pierce teach an important lesson for all dojos of the Cobra Kai series." Well, again, here's the problem. This movie is going to be coming out in December. They are going to start shooting in March, the movie. They're going to be starting to shoot season 6 or resuming shooting of season 6 after the new year. So probably in the January 2nd to 6th or 7th timeframe, they'll probably start reshooting the show or shooting the rest of the show. They haven't even cast the new Karate Kid yet. They sent out this casting call and they received over 10,000 submissions for this actor to play Li Fong, which I think is probably a publicity stunt. I have a feeling they'd probably hire an actor who has some experience or has representation. I could be wrong, unless they have a team of people going through all of these 10,000 submissions. I mean, that's a lot to weed through. So I have a feeling it's a publicity stunt to get people interested in the idea. I mean, and you saw how much attention we paid to that video of Daniel or Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan together. So I think the point of that was like a publicity stunt to get people interested. Could be wrong. I will mention that the whole casting for Mike Barnes for Karate Kid 3, that was also a publicity stunt. I don't think they planned on casting the character from those auditions. William Christopher Ford, who played Dennis, and Sean Kanan, who wound up playing Mike Barnes, they both showed up and they both got roles in Karate Kid 3 from that supposed publicity stunt. So anything is possible. And then let's see, and maybe Han and even Julie Pierce can teach an important lesson for all dojos of Cobra Kai series. I like that idea. I just don't think the coordination is there between the production companies and the shooting schedules. I think they won't have cast this character of Li Fong before they finish shooting Cobra Kai season 6. I could be wrong, but and again, I just don't see John, Josh, and Hayden putting those characters from the new movie into their series unless mandated by Sony. But I love that idea. Everyone on here is so creative, coming up with ideas to make this happen. Maybe people who are making the movie are watching. Maybe these are good ideas. John says 12,000 people have applied for the new movie, and that's a lot. But think about it. That means 12,000 people have sent in videos, and each video is, I don't know, let's say on average a minute, maybe more. And so in order to go through 12,000 videos, and let's just assume that the people casting this just watch the first 10 seconds of each video because they have so many to go through. I mean, that's what, 120,000 seconds, right? It's like, think of how many people, how long it would take to go through all of those submissions. So, gosh, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they have the staff to do it. Maybe they give it to the interns. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear the stories afterwards of how that whole casting thing went for the character. John says, "Will Johnny be in the new movie?" No, don't think so. I think this is just uh, Daniel LaRusso, and I think this movie takes place in Brooklyn. Has nothing to do with the Valley. I don't think any of the characters, and John Hurwitz has said this before, that the characters from the series aren't involved unless something changes, unless there's a reason for Johnny to get on a plane and go to Brooklyn. I think this is a completely different thing. AEH says none of these theories hold because they have to explain that Jackie Chan exists at the same time as Mr. Han. So far, my own theory holds best, right? And if I remember right, I think that's the one where the movie Jackie Chan played Mr. Han, and then that movie was based on a real character, and then Jackie Chan plays the real character too. Which is, man, this is like Christopher Nolan level. Like, seriously, guys, this is like Inception levels of trying to make things work. It's really weird. John Spangler says Jackie Chan does kung fu though, right? And that's honestly, guys, that's the one of the things. People say that karate is derived from kung fu anyway, but at the same time, it's not the Karate Kid; it's the Kung Fu Kid, right? I mean, if you're being specific about it. The only reason they're calling it the Karate Kid, and that's what they called the 2010 remake. The only reason they're doing that is the name recognition of the name, the Karate Kid. Um, it's a big thing. That I understand why they do it. I know why they do it, but I think it's a disservice to the stories that could be their own thing. Now we don't know what this is going to be called yet. They could call it the Kung Fu Kid. It may not be the Karate Kid, but it seems like they're pitching it, even the casting call, as the new Karate Kid, the next Karate Kid. So we will see. Where's your Cobra Kai shirt? Oh yeah, I'm not wearing it today. I don't know, it's felt a little cooler today. So it felt like the short sleeve. I got to get long sleeve shirt, or maybe the gi, maybe to stay warm. Cobra Kai gi. We'll see. I have to get some more Cobra Kai swag. That's for sure. Um, yes, AEH. Yes, my theory is Jackie Chan's playing a character that's based on a real life character that's Mr. Han. Yes. Um, that would make sense. I guess it's so the way they've set this up, it just seems so convoluted. My goodness. Jaws says Matt Moore, maybe Dre's father, could punch referee playing Chris Rock. Hmm, interesting. Maite, good to see you, Maite. Thank you for joining us, and good evening wherever you are in the world. MOTU Thunder, hey Ken, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Finally, we get to see Kim Sun Young in Cobra Kai. I agree. I am super excited about that. I've been excited by the possibility, and those of you who've been watching my channel for years, the possibility that we might see Kim Sun Young and just get the lore, the background of not only Terry Silver, but Kim Sun Young, because he is the granddaddy of the Cobra Kai fighting style. And the idea that we've gone from this series being focused on Johnny and him probably not even knowing all the backstory of where this fighting style came from, and that we might finally get back to that. I just love that the series has been able to go back and explore the lore and really bring these characters to life, expand the universe. It's phenomenal. So yes, very, very excited. Dale, good to see you, Dale. Hi, Ken. How are you? I think a full circle moment. LaRusso and Lawrence and the Sakai Taikai since Johnny and Daniel started the story. Yeah, I am so glad that they're on the same page, that they're working together now. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what will happen in season 6. And what can be accomplished with everyone working together. So Johnny Lawrence, Daniel LaRusso, Chosen, and maybe Julie Pierce. We shall see. And maybe Mike Barnes too, if he's not secretly working with some of the villains. We don't know. I've suggested that theory, but I'm open to all things. Mike Barnes might be a good guy now too. So I think he's very much shown as a good guy. So we shall see. Is he the bad boy, or has he become less bad? Gabe says we need a McKnight spinoff. I'd love to see McKnight and Johnny Lawrence meet. I think that would be very epic. Matt Moore, thank you for being a channel member, Matt. I love, oh, look at that photo. I love that avatar. Very cute, very cute. Karate Kid, Dark Fate. Yes, that might be a reference to Terminator Dark Fate, maybe. Yeah, I think so. Nerd World says Mr. Han will be, who's this Jackie Chan and why are they always telling me that? It might be that. It might be something cute, just a cute throwaway line. And that's honestly probably the best way to handle it. I think. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see. John Spangler says, "Do you think Daniel's kid will fight in Cobra Kai?" I think, like, if you're talking about the dojo, I don't think so. But if you're talking about the show, I think we might finally see that. I assume you're talking about Anthony. I think we might see that finally in season 6. Yes, I think so. Good old Anthony. John Spangler, the bad boy of karate, might be a villain. Yeah. I think, look, they've set him up as a good guy. I think there's a possibility that Mike Barnes, if you look at the events of what happened, it's very possible that he is not on the side of Daniel Russo and Chosen. His behavior was very questionable. He was kind of MIA for that entire fight. Was that part of the plan? He's got problems. It looks like substance abuse problems. He has financial problems, marital problems. I don't know. He's kind of an unstable guy. So we'll see what happens with Mike Barnes. Maybe I have to do a video about it. Dale says, I meant Sam and Robbie. Oh, win they divisions. They need a win. Yeah. Well, you know something? We will see. Maybe they'll finally get that payoff with the tournament of winning. That would be very exciting. And Jaws says that more flashbacks will be filmed with Kim Sun Young. That is between 89 and 85. Do you think that we'll know the exact reason why Silver was so crazy in Karate Kid 3 in 1985? Yeah, I would love to know. I think that is something that we quite haven't seen in the Cobra Kai series. And I don't know if that's something they'll address in this show, or maybe there'll be another show that goes into it. But Nick Marini plays young Terry Silver. He seems like such a good-natured guy, or at least outwardly so, that we don't see him ever go into the maniacal Terry Silver that we would see in Karate Kid 3. We know that from the show that he got into drugs, but beyond that, I think he's always had that side to him. So it'd be interesting to get maybe more perspective in history. I don't know if they'll do that in Cobra Kai or if they'll do that in perhaps a spinoff show. Hayden was on KenCast Live, one of these lives, and talking about the potential, the idea for a Dinotalks series. So if that's the case, we might get those answers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure talking with you today. Thank you for all the great, kind words about Tornado Chasers, my series. We shall see what happens with that in the future. For Cobra Cole, thank you so much. Definitely some fun ideas with that. Talked about William Christopher Ford. Check out the links in the description. And of course, Cobra Kai and the new Karate Kid movie. This has been so much fun. I am going to transition over now to the members live stream. So if you're a finalist member or above, join me live. You should have a link to the new chat, and we'll just keep talking about these things. Maybe we'll get to see some of you on camera as well. So it has been amazing talking with you all. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday, and definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell to be alerted for the next KenCast. I think this week it's going to happen with, we're going to continue with Obliterated, watching that live. So it's been great seeing you, and I will catch you next time.
Want to be part of the live KenCast show? Subscribe to the Ken Cole YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to get alerts about every new show. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time on KenCast.